What happens when we get two Age of Empire 3 pros and put them in Age of Empires 4, which they have barely played before? Well, welcome to a very special casted game. This is game number 3 of a best of 3 between Widgie and AnimusVox. So, spawning in the right hand side of the map, in the colour blue, we have Widgie. He's going to be playing the Holy Roman Empire for us today. And if you didn't catch the other games, Widgie has played around 7 or 8 hours of Age of Empires 4. And he's played those in the last few weeks. He only picked up the game a couple of weeks ago. So he's going to be playing the Holy Roman Empire. Already going on to the deer there. So, on the left hand side of the map, in the colour red, we have AnimusVox. And he's going to be playing in the red with the Abbasid dynasty. So, Animus, if you didn't catch in the last few episodes, he's played around 30 hours of Age of Empires 4, which is a lot more than Widgie, but Animus played this in October, which is when Age of Empires 4 released. So, Widgie's kind of up to a bit more up to date, whereas Widgie's a bit more old, Animus is a bit more old school. So, we see the Prelate is running about for Widgie, he knows what to do with it. And Widgie does occasionally jump into some Age of Empire 4 streams, so he knows what he is doing when it comes to these kind of things. Whereas Animus might be a little bit further behind, but he does have the core knowledge of the game. We see not a lot going on at the moment. Animus knows he needs to be on the berries. He's playing as the Abbasid. They do have that nice little berry bonus. We see the House of Wisdom now coming down in the front of the base here. Interesting position here. Usually we like to see the House of Wisdom behind the base, or to the side, maybe up here. But not a bad placement right there, especially for a beginner player like these two. So we can see this time both players. Actually, I take that back. Widgie's gone onto the gold nice and early, which is definitely a more standard practice, whereas for Animus, as we've seen in the last few games, he likes to go on the gold a lot later. He likes to gather up all of his food first, like you can see he's done here, and then go on to gold, which it seems like he's about to do now. Whereas for Widgie, he's almost there for the gold. He's just had on two on gold this whole time. He probably could have got a third on there, to be honest, but not looking too bad at all. We're just going to be scouting out, seeing what Animus is up to. And for those that didn't know that this best of 3 is a no repeat civ game. So basically, they can't pick the same civilization they picked in previous games, even if they lose with it. So that's why we see so many different civilizations out for them. Definitely interesting to see how these players will play with the HRE and the Abbasid. But yeah, it's surprising to see no French out from Widgie. We saw Chinese in the first game, then English, and now HRE. So, nice to see no French lamer over here. I can't say the same for Animus, but Animus did lose with the French, so, you know, you don't know. But Widgie now has enough to age up. He's got double the amount of food he needs. I wonder if he thinks it's 800 food to age up, because that is what it is in Age of Empires 3. But we now see the Ark and Chapel coming down for Widgie in this part of the base. Definitely a good location here. You get the, I'm not sure if you get it in the second wood line, but you definitely get this wood line. You get the gold, you get the stone, and you can get any other sheep. But surprisingly, Widgie's put them over here. So you might just need to get another Prelate out. You can keep one Prelate over here by the food, and you can put the other one inside of this Ark and Chapel. And we can see Animus is also aging up over here. He's going to be aging up with the Eco Wing. Going to be able to get fresh foodstuffs. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to the House of Wisdom and the techs. Very rarely do we see any other techs in here. For Age 2 at least. And now we can see Animus gathering up lots of gold still. We see this quite a lot. Animus likes to gather up lots of gold when it comes to in transition. But it seems like he's pulling them a lot off now. He's got the gold he needs for fresh foodstuffs, so now looking to pull them off. And we can see Widgie over here doing a bit of long distance chopping. He needs to get down that lumber camp. The reason he has to do this is because he decided to go for that early mill on the deer, which I mean is probably not a bad decision, but it does mean you have to do a little bit of long distance chopping, which isn't always a nice thing you want to be doing. We now see Animus is aging up. He's about to get there. Is he going to get there before Widgie? Yes, he is. So very rarely do we see that the Abbasid age up before other civilizations because they can't rush up their age up. There's a set, they have a set time, but an advantage to that is that you have no vills, you know, sitting about building a landmark, doing their thing. So definitely more efficient here for Animus. And he also gets the age up. Is he going to grab fresh foodstuffs immediately? He doesn't have enough gold, as he does decide to go for that early wheelbarrow. This is what we see from Animus quite a lot. We've seen it in every game so far. In transition, he loves to get this wheelbarrow. He must know the power of the wheelbarrow. Whereas for Widgie, not gone for the wheelbarrow yet. We did see him grab it in one of the games. Now the Archon Chapel has been completed. He's got that prelate immediately inside. It's good to see that he's remembered it. Sometimes when I'm playing HRE, I do forget to put the prelate inside. It's just like standing there, prelating, inspiring. That's the word. Not prelating and up the villagers. He's inspiring. But sometimes I forget to put it inside of that Archon Chapel. It's a good job there by Widgie. Now we see a couple archery ranges down for Animus, and it looks like he's going to be going into some camel archers. Oh, he cancels it. Maybe not. I don't know what his plan is there. He had a camel archer in queue, but decided to cancel it. Not a lot going on now at the moment. Nice little outpost coming down for a Widgie on this gold mine. Maybe looking to go for a bit of a fast castle then, because not very often that we see outposts coming down this early if it's not a fast castle, and he thinks he's going to be put under some pressure by Animus. But yeah, very standard for HRE. We very often see them go for the fast castle into the regnants to pick up some of these relics. That's 2 relics is worth 600 relics worth for normal civs. It's absolutely crazy. Anyway, we do see camel archers finally coming out for Animus. I'm not sure why he decided to cancel the other one earlier. But you can see here, Widgie's definitely macroing for that age up. Animus looking like he's going to commit to these camel archers. Maybe he's going to do some raiding with this, but this tower is up for Widgie. He's going to be able to spot out those camel archers very easily. And the damage coming from outposts on camel archers are really, really good. And we see a blacksmith out for Widgie. Interesting. Are we going to see a Burgrave? That would be amazing. I hope we do. I mean, minework probably would have been better then if this is going to be a Burgrave. But Archon Chapel is always nice for the long-term plan. But let's see. 5 villas have been pulled off. What is he going to be going for? What is Widgie going to be going for? It's the Burgrave Palace. He's going to be constructing it with 9 villagers here. He really wants to rush this up. He needs to get some more villagers onto food, because the Burgrave consumes so much gold, so much food so fast with the men-at-arms. And men-at-arms is definitely what you want to be going against right here with against the Abbasid. They don't really have much of an answer to men-at-arms apart from these camel archers, which they're alright. Like, they're not counters, but like you can kite with them, so yeah, it's alright. But these archers are going to get absolutely wrecked by the Burgrave, especially if Widgie decides to get in marching drills as well. Grab marching drills, then Iron Undermesh, and you'll be looking amazing to do some really nice raiding on Animus. But it seems like Animus is going to push out now. This is definitely not going to be an army that is going to be able to kill much, but you know, maybe it's going to deny some of these vills on this age up. Might be able to take out 1 or 2. The camel archers are running straight past though. Widgie's going to be able to get out this landmark, and he's going to be able to run all of his villagers back home. Definitely not what Animus wants right there. He might have been able to pick off 1 or 2 villagers over there. Now we see Widgie has 3 men-at-arms in queue. He wants to get this men-at-arms upgrade. This comes in so fast. Look at that, 6 seconds for this upgrade. You definitely want to get this in really nicely and fast. Villager goes down there for Widgie. Let's have a look at build count. Animus ahead by 8 villagers. So it's, at some point, Widgie must have been lacking some APM to click on some villagers. Quite a common occurrence we've seen from Widgie over the last few games. Definitely finding it hard to keep his macro under control. And these camel archers managed to kill another villager, but 1 does go down. So I think the camel archers are pretty much... I mean, you know, they killed 2 villagers, and Animus does already have the lead. But this is the worry. These men-at-arms, they're still early men-at-arms. Widgie really needs to grab this upgrade right here. 6 seconds, it's pretty cheap as well. And he needs to get Iron Under Mesh and Marching Drills. And then these guys will be absolutely incredible. Like, you could just send like 3 of them in here, do a bit of raiding there, do a bit of raiding here, bit of raiding on the gold mine. And the Absid player just finds it really hard to have a comeback from this. So Animus probably going to be looking towards an age up. We can see here, he's got enough food. He just needs the gold now, but he's got quite a few villagers on that gold. Then he needs to start to look to go into crossbow. Or maybe even some knights, but knights aren't the most effective against the men-at-arms with the HRE, because the HRE can get the heavy mace upgrade. But it's still definitely a good choice to go into knights or crossbow. Definitely crossbow would be the better option here. Animus gonna get blocked off over here. Widgie doing a good job just walling off here, making sure Animus can't get into his base. Fortunately, Widgie trying to grab some of these relics is going to be denied for Animus. It seems like Animus really looking to defend these relics, but that's not really a big deal for Widgie. Widgie doesn't really need the relics anymore. He went with the Burgrave. It's not really a big deal. And now we can see these men-at-arms are going to be able to very easily clear up these bowmen. You see, like, look how little damage these guys do towards men-at-arms. And these are still early in men-at-arms. Widgie, please get your men-at-arm upgrade. These guys will be like twice as good. But we can see 2 camel archers back out for Animus. These guys are going to be decent against these. We can see now Animus is going to be aging up. He's aging up with the military wing. Definitely interesting there. Going to be able to get the plus 15% on all infantry. Maybe looking to get the camel rider shields as well. But usually most players like to go up with the cultural wing, because they can get up this preservation of knowledge. Minus 30% of all techs is really, really nice, and it scales as well into the late game. And you can get all of these nice upgrades for much cheaper. To be honest, Abbasid probably need a buff in this department. Like, both of these are pretty rubbish. I mean, like, maybe minus 50% on all technologies, that would be really nice. But we'll have to see what the devs do there, because the win rate for the Abbasid at the moment are really low. But to be honest, with lower level games like this, it doesn't really matter as much. But we can see finally Widgie grabbing that men-at-arms upgrade. These men-at-arms looking really, really fierce right now. Let's have a look there. Looking really, really cool right there. I'm surprised we haven't seen any heavy mace upgrade coming out from Widgie yet. But, you know, definitely not needed. Especially against this composition. It would be better to be honest, be seeing 2-handed weapons and maybe getting like bloomery. He definitely needs to get marching drills. Marching drills is absolutely huge for the HRE. Like, these men-at-arms will be able to catch up with these archers, with these camel archers, so much easier. But to be honest, Widgie's got the has he got the pierce armor one? He doesn't. He doesn't have any of the upgrades here. Oh man, if he got some of these upgrades, these men-at-arms would be so good at raiding right now. And we can see Animus looking like he's going to be making some knights here with the stables. I would assume anyways. It would be very weird to see camel archers, or camel riders, sorry. And some villagers are going to be going down here. Bit of a trade right here. Animus looking to take care of some of these men-at-arms. We see decent damage comes through from these camel archers onto these men-at-arms, especially when they can kite. But Animus needs a bigger number, and these men-at-arms are going to be doing some really big damage right here to Animus. Animus losing a few vills, but Animus still has an 8 villager advantage. But more villagers are going to be going down here by Animus if he's not paying attention. It seems like Animus is really focusing on this battle over here, and we start to see some archers coming out from Widgie. Very interesting. They're going to be able to do a good job versus these camel archers. Just look how much damage goes on to these camel archers from just like a single veteran archer. Fortunately, Animus does have some of his own archers here that are going to be able to do some good damage towards those archers. But Widgie looking really, really strong at the moment. Look at all the villagers going down for Animus. How many vills did he lose there? Ooh, that's a lot of vills. That was like 5 vills, 6 vills. So Animus now only 1 villager ahead. He does still have the score lead, but the score lead doesn't really reflect a lot at the moment because Animus is in a terrible position right here. Look at all these vills being pushed off the wood line. This is not good at all. Widgie looking in a really strong position right now. Let's see if he's got any of those upgrades in. Has he got marching drills? Still no marching drills. Widgie, please get marching drills. You built a blacksmith for a reason. Just like, look at all these men-at-arms though coming out for Widgie. We still see no crossbow coming out from Animus, looking to stick with the veteran Camel Archers, which are going to be doing a decent job, to be fair, but, you know, definitely crossbow would be the really, really good, cost-effective unit to be trading with these men-at-arms at the moment. We can see lots of archers still being trained by Widgie, and to be honest, crossbow would get countered by those archers anyway, so maybe knights is the right option. We do see quite a few being produced here for Animus. We see these men-at-arms are going to be pushed back to the base now. Half-constructed archery range at the front for Widgie. Bad engagement right there for Widgie, to be honest. Lots of men-at-arms going down. Animus doing a really good job here, kiting with these Camel Archers. Lots of damage being done right there. Widgie, no, come on, man. Come on, no. There's a blacksmith right here. Well, hopefully he'll realise that he needs to get some upgrades. Because this Iron Undermesh upgrade would be absolutely amazing right now. I mean, marching drills and then get both of the Pierce Armor upgrades. And you'll be looking like you're in a great position. Especially against this composition versus Animus right here. Getting those two Pierce upgrades would be absolutely amazing. Widgie, you build a second blacksmith, mate. But you still get no upgrades from him. Definitely an interesting choice there. Maybe in a few minutes we'll see a third blacksmith get placed down somewhere as well. But for now we see lots of men-at-arms in the queue. Widgie is pop-capped. He's building more houses over there. Still no upgrades for Widgie. And it seems like Animus is just keeping an eye on these relics. He's got some villagers on the berries over here. Definitely nice over there. I doubt Widgie's going to be able to scout that out anytime soon. And Animus has his blacksmith. He's got the upgrade for the extra ranged damage. Be nice for him to. He's also got the melee defense as well. Definitely nice right there. To be honest, maybe Iron Undermesh for Animus as well, especially with all these archers being pushed for Widgie. But it seems like Widgie's going to be pushing back out. Animus, quite a large number of Camel Archers. But is it enough against his composition? These bow are going to be able to do some amazing damage versus these Camel Archers. And these Men-at-Arms are going to be able to sort of tank up some of the fire right there. Now a mosque being dropped for Animus. Maybe looking to pick up some of the relics on the map. Widgie not really looking to pick any up. All 5 are still on the map. And now villagers going down for Animus. Let's have a look at the vill count. Animus is now behind by 2 vills. Widgie doing a good job there. Archers and Camel Archers out for Animus right now. Animus looking to clean up some of these archers. 11 Camel Archers. But bear in mind, these Camel Archers are super expensive. 180 food and 60 wood each. Absolutely insane with the cost right there. So these probably aren't being too cost effective right now. He needs to keep pulling them back. So maybe he's looking to get out some imams so he can heal these back up. Because he definitely needs to keep these guys with lots of HP. Knights are also going to be doing a good job here. And Widgie still doesn't have the mace upgrade in. So these Knights are going to be able to counter everything right here. So maybe Animus needs to push out at this point in time. He can probably take this. He needs a couple more Knights. That second... No, he's got quite a few actually, my bad. He's got 3 stables now out. But he doesn't have any Knights in the queue. Animus taking a poor engagement right there. Losing 2 Camel Archers for free. Bear in mind, it seems like, oh, it's only 2 Camel Archers. But that's almost 400 food and 120 wood right there. Down the drain. And we can see Animus has got that Camel upgrade. I think that's 3 extra melee armor on these guys. It's definitely looking very decent right there. No boot camp, no agriculture. I mean, agriculture isn't really needed at the moment. Animus doesn't have many farms. He's on the berries over here. He could probably expand out to the south, maybe. There's not really much down here, to be honest. But more Knights are coming out. 4 Knights on the battlefield for Animus. Probably needs to get a couple more. But the heavy mace upgrade is in for Widgie. Widgie looking in a really, really nice position right now. Looks like he's going to be pushing out. Siege Engineering would be really nice for Widgie at this point in time as well. Start to burn down this very forward production buildings. I mean, if these production buildings go down for Animus, that's going to be so much wood he needs to invest. And now we see a big engagement going down. But these Lancers are not on the Archers, and these are going to be absolutely wrecked because they do not have good numbers right here. Camel Archers are able to one-shot these Men-at-Arms, but at what cost? Look at the amount of units going down there for Animus. And now Widgie's just going to have to push right into the base of Animus. And these Men-at-Arms are going to be able to do some really good damage right here. Villagers are going to be going down if they're not careful either. The amount of damage being done here is absolutely insane. These Archers are going to be able to one-shot these Camel Archers. That's not what you want to see at all. We see these Men-at-Arms are clearing up these villagers. Let's have a look at the Vill lead. So Widgie has a very substantial villager lead at this point. And bear in mind, Widgie was way behind at the beginning due to being idled from by himself. And now Widgie's going to be able to catch some Vills and the army off guard here. So many Vills are going to be going down here for Animus. Just commit to these Vills. I think all of them could be going down here. These Men-at-Arms doing a very good job versus these Camel Archers. But to be fair, Animus is starting to clear up some of these Men-at-Arms, but is it enough? Like, we've got so many more on the way. And Widgie definitely has the advantage right now when it comes to economy. You can see everything is idled right now for Animus. He's got 8 villas in the town centre, a couple chopping wood, and more villagers here on the gold that are going to be caught off guard. Widgie, I'm surprised he doesn't commit to this. He could just commit to these villagers. He has the lead right now. Cutting off Animus to the gold would be really, really beneficial. And these Archers doing a great job versus these Camel Archers, and the Men-at-Arms going to be really good against these Men-at-Arms really good against these Lancers. Animus not really sure what to do. He still has no crossbow out. He's just sticking with these Camel Archers, which Spearmen are now out. And to be fair, Spearmen do get pretty much wrecked by these Camel Archers. But in close combat, Spearmen do some really good damage to Camel Archers. So maybe mixing in a few Spearmen into the Men-at-Arm composition is a good idea. But to be honest, Lance Connect is probably the better option here. You're going to be able to do some splash damage. So if they're able to get up nice and close to these Camel Archers, they're going to be able to absolutely wreck them. We see Animus finally return his units back to work. You can see he's actually got 2 Lancers and a Camel Archer inside of the town centre. Definitely be nice right now if they were out on the battlefield here helping out. And we can see Widgie just sieging down these archery ranges right now. More Camel Archers coming out as well. We see just how easily the Spearmen go down. Spearmen definitely not a good choice versus the Abbasid. As Kanoki would say, never ever make Spearmen versus the Abbasid. The Knights have made their way out of the town centre, but it's just not enough. Spearmen are out as well. Oh, especially with this pathing. Definitely unfortunate right there. And Animus just trying to kite around with these Camel Archers, and we actually see some Camel Riders now out for Animus. Very interesting. We see no cavalry out for Widgie, so I'm not really sure why we see these on the battlefield. Maybe they're trying to confuse Widgie. Widgie's like, oh, what's that unit? What's that unit? Oh god! And then while he's reading what that unit does, Animus goes in for a sneaky attack on the side. But it seems like it's not the case. Widgie's finally got both upgrades for the ranged, the pierce armor. So these Camel Archers not going to be doing a lot of damage, and two-handed mace upgrades in for Widgie. Going to be able to do so much damage here to Animus. It's not looking pretty at all. So much being idled right now. One Spearman able to cut off the whole wood line here apparently. And now we see a keep drop coming down from Widgie. Interesting position. Probably could have been a little bit more aggressive. You could have probably stuck it like here. Then a siege workshop you could build, and then you could just slowly start to siege down some of these production buildings, and then House of Wisdom, and then finally that town centre. But we can see villagers all over the map for Animus. Not doing a great job on the villager front. He's on 28 vills compared to, let's have a look at Widgie's 57. Absolutely amazing job by Widgie in the economy. And I don't think this is looking very good for Animus anymore. Widgie has the map control with the keep. He's got the economy, and he's also got the army. Like, yeah, not looking pretty for Animus at all. The only thing I can see helping him out right here is if he gets out lots of crossbow, some men-at-arms, not men-at-arms, crossbow, sorry, and mangonels. This keeper is going to be going up, not going to be denied. But you can just see how easily the spearmen get wrecked by these camel archers. They have bonus damage versus spearmen. It's definitely nice over there. The keep is up. I wonder if we'll see Widgie go for another keep. We can see he's currently floating quite a lot of resources, so I wonder if he's looking to go H4. He definitely doesn't need to. To be honest, at this point in the game, Widgie could probably just run into the base of Animus and start to really do some big damage to the remaining vills. Because look at this farming eco. The farming eco isn't the biggest over here, but it's certainly something. And Widgie could easily kick Animus off the gold mine right here. Animus has no other gold. He's got some gold up here, which he probably could take. But no villagers nearby there. You can see Widgie now pushing forwards again. Going to be able to take out even more villagers here. These men-at-arms looking super, super good right now. We still see no marching drills. Oh, man. The marching drills right now would be absolutely amazing versus these camel archers. Because surprisingly, these camel archers are super, super slow compared to other cavalry. And if these men-at-arms are a little bit faster, they will be able to catch up with these guys a lot better. And now we see Widgie trying to siege down the House of Wisdom. It's got a lot of health on it. It is an H3, this House of Wisdom. So it's got 12,000 health. But these archers doing a great job here versus these units. Quite a few Lancers and Camel Riders out. But it's not enough. Widgie needs to micro a little bit here, though. He needs to make sure those men-at-arms are engaging. And I'm surprised we see no siege engineering out from Widgie. Doesn't even have it in the queue yet. It'd be really nice to see right now. You know, a couple rounds sieging down these House of Wisdom and the town centre would be really nice right now. We see the mosque didn't really do a lot for Animus. He didn't collect any relics in the end, but neither has Widgie. All 5 relics remain on the map, which the Holy Roman Empire is very surprising, as you can just garrison them inside of the keeps and the outposts. You know, a relic in this keep right now, oh, it'd be so good. It would be so hard to push back. And we see finally the siege workshop comes down for Widgie. Maybe looking to get out a trebuchet now, or maybe even a mangonel. We'll have to see. But Animus's army is going to be pushed away. This wall, interesting wall right there by Widgie, not really doing much. I mean, he's blocking off the majority of the map. He's got a stone wall over here as well, but yeah, it leaves a massive hole here, but doesn't seem like Animus is going to be looking to engage over there. House of Wisdom now on half HP. Nothing coming out yet from the siege workshop. And even more villagers being killed and idled over here for Animus. Still on 29 villagers, and that's only going to be decreasing, whereas Widgie's on 64. Over a double count for Widgie. Widgie's going to be able to catch some units off guard here. Lots of knights now making an appearance for Animus. I mean, yeah, sure, they're good against the archers and they're okay against these men-at-arms, but that's not enough. You need a whole mass of knights. We see the town centres now looking to be taken out. We still see no siege down for Widgie. No siege engineering and no trebuchet coming out of the siege workshop. But to be honest, at this rate, it doesn't seem like he's going to need it. These men-at-arms are going to be able to do some amazing siege. Going to be able to deny these knights, or lancers as they are for the Abbasid dynasty. You can see Animus on 30 vills. You can just see the mass is absolutely huge for Widgie at this point. He's still producing. Look at the men-at-arms coming out. So for those that don't know, the Burgrave is worth 5 barracks, which is absolutely insane. So it's able to just non-stop push out units. And look at this. A mangonel finally coming out for Animus. But he needs the crossbow. If he takes out these archers with the mangonel, sure. The men-at-arms are still here though. And the men-at-arms will be countered by the crossbow really nicely. But I mean, the mangonel is going to be able to do some decent damage versus these men-at-arms. But yeah, it's not that much. And we see a mangonel now coming out for Widgie. Widgie, uh-oh. Keep drop for Animus. Is Widgie going to be able to target down these villagers? He's going to move it a little bit closer. I think this is going to be able to target the villagers. Widgie now moving his army onto this keep. These villagers are on at half HP, and there's all the villagers are going to be going down here. 6 villagers. Yeah, this keep, there's no way this keeps going up. The Mangonel's doing some really nice damage to Widgie right here, but is it enough? Probably not. I mean, even if they manage to wipe out a whole load of men-at-arms, Animus does not have the economy to recover here. He's on 21 bills compared to the 66 of Widgie's. And this keep doesn't go up. There's nothing left for Animus. And GG is called. Widgie wins the best of 3. And Widgie is the best Age of Empires 3 pro to play Age of Empires for, at least for the beginning here. But yeah, if you did enjoy this, guys, please do feel free to leave a like. And hopefully we'll do some more of these in the future. But I'll catch you guys in the next one.